Hey guys, Ishan here for Super Leads Media. Now, if you've been following me for quite a while, right, you probably have noticed that or even if you remember actually, a video that I created a few weeks ago now, maybe over a month ago, where I was kind of talking about the whole lockdown situation, especially when it started, and saying like, is your business ready, right? Is your business ready where it's digitized, you've got websites, you've got your social media game on point, everything is on point because right now, we're still in the lockdown. We're still in the lockdown in terms of what the announcement and the speech that Boris Johnson, the British Prime Minister, just gave, a few hours ago, and basically saying, we've got like a phase or a plan essentially on what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks and months. He said, right. So this next phase that we're in right now, he said, hopefully this is going to happen in the next week or in the next few weeks and months. So potentially obviously it can be extended, it can go back, it can get worse, it can it could be one of those situations. So right now, I've got step one. Now step one is basically, if you need to go to work, then go to work, right? So if you work in, say, construction, warehouses, delivery kind of businesses, logistic type of businesses, then you need to go, right? Don't use public transport. Now if you're not using public transport, so these are buses and trains and what have you, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like, okay, what do you do then? Because a lot of us use trains. I mean, when I used to use a train, hundreds of people are using the train. Within in 1 hour, you probably got 1,000, maybe 10,000 people on trains just commuting to their workplaces, to and fro. So you can go to the parks, but who works at the parks really? So right, you can go to the parks and work out and sit on a bench, and if you want to play sports, that's fine. But only people that live in the same household. So if you work in, say, retail and things of that nature, it's not fully like you can do that 100%. That's all okay. If you're running certain type of businesses like the restaurant style businesses, law firms, etc. A lot of those people don't have to go to work. They can actually, some of them can do work from on at home, but not all of them can. So it's a bit like, there wasn't that much for most people, in my opinion, that you could take from the announcements that were made today. So it's still like you're still pretty much in lockdown. It's just that if you want to relax a bit more, if you want to go to the park, that sort of thing, then you can. I guess the next stage will be to really start opening more things up and begin the phase of getting kids back to school. I think he said year one and year six in secondary schools and stuff. So schools and secondary schools rather. So just getting year one, year six, maybe year seven, stuff like that, like just so they can do what they need to do before the next semester or the next school year starts. So it's still up in the air right now, is basically what I'm getting at. And I think step three, after hopefully people are starting to go to school, that's when restaurants and cafes and maybe cinemas and that sort of thing will start to open as well, and hopefully by then we'll get back to normal. But that is not going to happen, I would say, until like maybe August, September onwards. So still, there's this longevity. Still, you got to be in this state of, okay, am I even prepared for this now? Can I even go that long in terms of my business, and will it even survive until then as well? Up until then, say August time, we're looking at what, 6 months, with closed doors. So are you actually online? Are you online and fully optimizing like the resources and tools that are out there, whether it's social media, whether it's websites, whether it's different tools and platforms out there as well? So we are still in the lockdown phase. We are still, working from home predominantly. I think most people will work from home as well, and most customers will want to stay home rather than going out, unless it's obviously for supermarket, which is a necessity, right? Because it's scary. It's still scary. People who get coronavirus are not. It's not one of those viruses where you get it and you feel weak and or maybe you want to vomit or something like that, right? It's one of those viruses where it's really detrimental. It targets your breathing essentially, right? And most people will describe it like hell, and they will describe it in the sense that I'm getting ready to die. Like a lot of people, that's what they say. I was listening to the radio, and there's a lady saying that 3 people in her own family got it and died. I think it was an uncle and an auntie. Like her uncle got it, and then 3 weeks later, her auntie, the wife of the uncle, got it and died. And it's just it's horrible. So people are still going to be quite skeptical and scared and whatnot as well. So even if you can go back to work, Can you believe and trust and have trust in that your customers will start shopping like they used to? No. So things are changing. And e-commerce is winning. Social media, anybody that's got a social media plan is winning right now and doing a lot better than anyone else. So whether you're a pharmacy, whether you're some like law firm or whether a restaurant and you're not doing anything online or you don't have a business online, you really need to start to get onto it, to be honest. You really need to get onto it and you really need to do your research on it. Like I said, check out like my previous videos. I actually talk about them, go in a bit more detail with strategies, with how to do that essentially, how to get online and make it happen. So that's my take basically on the step one, step two, and step three kind of phases that Boris Johnson has put out there. We're still pretty much in lockdown. It's not going to get eased up, I think, anytime soon, really. And it's not really given a lot of businesses that much clarity where you can make the right decisions and a plan essentially on restarting your businesses. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, a share, a heart, or whatever else you can do on social media these days. And hopefully I'll see you soon on the next video. I hope you all have a great week.